The White House has pulled President Donald Trump's nominee for CDC Director, Dave Weldon. It came just hours before the confirmation hearing for the former Republican congressman who has a long history of opposing vaccines. A source told Reuters he lacked the support needed to win approval. Weldon marks the first nominee the Trump administration has withdrawn from consideration. It comes as the U.S. faces measles cases in several states and a widening outbreak in West Texas and New Mexico that has killed 2 people.
CDC shakeup, but who's really in charge? I'm Dr. Haydee Brown.
And I'm Dr. Sonya Sloan.
And we are eh-yah,
Black and brown women, disruptors in healthcare and beyond.
So let's talk about Dr. David Weldon. Yes, that Dr. Weldon. You might not have heard his name in the last 15 years, but the anti-vax world, they've had him on speed dial. Donald Trump tried to slide him into the most significant public health seat in the country, the director of the CDC. But let's be real. This wasn't a nomination. This was a warning shot. Now, Weldon isn't just some random congressman. He's the guy anti-vaxxers say has been, quote unquote, one of us since before their movement had any traction at all. The Autism Action Network even thanked him for trying to stop what they call, and y'all really do have to brace yourselves, vaccine pedicide. That's not a thing. I just want you all to know that's not a thing. But that's a term that they use. And this is the guy that Trump wanted to run the CDC. You can't make this stuff up. He's 71, hasn't been in office since flip phones were trending, and now he's supposed to lead the charge on national health policy. And his confirmation hearing never happened. The Trump camp pulled their own nominee hours before the confirmation hearing. I guess they were scared of this measles outbreak with 2 anti-vaxxers at the helm. But the real shot in the arm, pun intended, is the fact that his presumptive boss would have been none other than RFK Jr., the most high-profile anti-vax voice in America. So birds of a feather don't just flock together. They trying to ruin our public health. So the question is, why did they pull him? Right? I mean, they haven't pulled other folks. He wasn't qualified. And, where will they place him next in this Project 2025 agenda, this world that they're doing? The nomination had already failed the test about science and integrity and protecting lives. It's just really important for us to think about the CDC, which was started nearly 80 years ago to prevent the spread of malaria in the United States, okay? Its mission was later expanded, and it gradually became a global leader in infectious and chronic diseases and a go-to source for health information. So today, the Atlanta-based agency has a core budget of $9 billion, but when Trump took office, it had about 13,000 employees. Still, more than 500 were fired as part of this dramatic and continuing push by President and Elon Musk and Doge to cut staffing across these federal agencies. But Dr. Sloan, this then happened. Can you roll the clip?
We've learned the Trump administration plans to nominate Dr. Susan Monarez as the director of the Atlanta-based CDC. Monarez is the current acting director of the agency. The move comes weeks after the White House withdrew the nomination of Dr. Dave Weldon to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Monarez is a veteran of government service who was the deputy director of the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health. In the past, the CDC director has been appointed, but the nominee requires Senate approval starting this year.
And so now, Dr. Brown, the White House has finally named Dr. Susan Monarez to lead the CDC. But hold up, this isn't just a routine shuffle in American top public health agencies. This is a political theater with real life consequences working at its finest. So let's get the facts straight. Dr. Monarez is no lightweight, you guys. She is not an MD, but she is a PhD, and from Wisconsin and a postdoc from Stanford. We finally got somebody in there that has some gravitas. She's a government vet and has a solid rep of her days at the Advanced Research Project Agency for Health. It's a cutting edge agency pushing health innovations. So she's even been described by her colleagues as data-driven and science-focused. And are you ready for this? Non-political. So why does Trump want her? So in his recent Truth Social post, Trump said Monarez will work closely with Kennedy Jr., adding that together they will prioritize accountability. Go figure. high standards, I don't think so, and disease prevention to finally address the chronic disease and epidemic in America, making America healthy again. Sure. That's right after he torched the agency for all political bias and disastrous mismanagement, right? Doge. So the translation is, we like her, and yes, she's been hired, but I wouldn't want her to get too comfortable quite yet. So remember, the nomination only happened after Trump yanked Dr. Dave Weldon. You remember the guy that we were just talking about? And him and Kennedy together, those are a bit much. And even Kennedy thought Weldon was way too much. So here's the real issue. The CDC isn't just a logo on a letterhead. It's the frontline defense against global health threats. And now it's bleeding talent, battling budget cuts, and ducking political grenades. So some insiders say that Monarez has been a little bit too quiet, if you will. It may be just a placeholder, if you will. But I think she's pretty smart. The question is, can a smart, capable scientist lead and truly lead this evidence-based science with no ego attached and stabilize our drifting healthcare in this nation since 2020? I don't know. This time is going to tell, but I think we may actually have a chance with her. The question is, what's the real agenda behind all of this, and what are they going to do with Dave Weldon? I'm sort of skeptical of that. Anyway, this isn't just about who's in charge of the CDC anymore. And rumor has it there's been some recent budget cuts again. So whether it's about truth or science, it's still about public health. And we're here to tell the truth. So, Dr. Brown.
So thank you, everyone, for watching. We are eh-yah, contributors to the MeidasTouch Network and proud members of the Meidas Mighty.
Please subscribe, like, share, and follow for more updates.
Bye, everyone.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at meidastouch.com/newsletter.